Right then, this is a walk around video for a really lovely looking car. This is a Toyota RAV4. It's the 2.2 Invincible diesel manual, finished in this lovely sort of gunmetal grey metallic. This is the later 2015 style model with this new styling, new alloys. It just looks absolutely fantastic. Car's covered 77,000 miles and is in absolutely lovely condition. Front of the car, as you can see, lovely and clean. Lights and lenses are completely clear and intact. Bonnet's very clean indeed. There's a couple of microscopic stone chips no doubt. Near side, passenger side, can't see any indentations at all. Near side front alloy, perfect condition. Got the little chrome strip and side steps. It all just adds up. It really does make the car look absolutely lovely, especially in the flesh. Videos don't often do it justice really. Near side rear alloy again, lovely. And come around the back of the car, you get the spoiler, roof bars, chrome strip in the bottom there. Really is a very nicely styled car. Then around to the offside, driver's side, again, wonderfully smooth in the panels. Can't see any indentations. Again, really clean car, this one. Offside rear alloy, again, absolutely fantastic. The remaining panel work's absolutely lovely. There will, as I always say, there'll always be a little mark that I can't quite see or haven't spotted, so please do bear that in mind. But for the age and mileage of the car, that is in absolutely glorious condition. Let's come to the back of the car now. As you can see, electric tailgate working exactly as it should. Massive boots, and it comes with all the equipment, luggage net, which can be put in the high position as well. Tonneau cover, that's been kept absolutely superbly. Let's come to the back of the car now, and this is where people, or sort of family cars rather, especially SUVs, can be really heavily used. The leatherwork, it has to be said, looks almost factory fresh. It's in gorgeous condition. Comes to the front and the passenger side, again all really clean. Passenger seat, again, it's been given absolutely minimal use. So finally, driver's door card, again wonderfully clean. This is the footwell area, and the driver's seat itself, which is now what, 6 or 7 years old, and looks like it's just been literally just a couple of thousand miles on it. So inside the car now, engine's running as always to this section, so the dash can be seen illuminated. Dashboard is in just, again, fantastic condition. Sat nav, you can see there, working perfectly. If I pop the car into reverse, get that lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as it should. And up to the dash binnacle, hopefully you can see 77,186 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Toyota RAV4. It's a 2.2 Invincible. This particular car is registered FV64NFT, and with a mileage of 77,186 miles. The reason we do all of our videos actually, and especially this road test section, is to ensure that if anyone's online looking at our cars, they actually get to see the cars we're advertising in operation. That way we can let you know if there's any issues before you come to us, because we've been to see cars which have looked perfectly good in photographs and description, but only to drive them and find out they've got a fundamental problem which shows up whilst driving the car, so hence that's why we do it. We also do it on these very quiet country roads close to our premises. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the reason for that is hopefully then it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, very well looked after car in every way, and driving it carries on that theme really. Push button start, engine starts instantly and settles to a smooth, even idle. No warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car, and temperature gauge running at just about a half, which is exactly where it's meant to be in one of these cars. The engines are lovely, very smooth and quiet, very tractable, They pull keenly from low revs and pull through the rev range without getting flustered or overly noisy, and they give very good economy, and it's not one of these engines you've got to work really hard to get the economy. It seems to come very easily to the car, but a really, really nice unit, and as I said, with some other cars, quite often you'll get in a diesel car that'll seem initially quite quick or pull very well, but they can be sort of one-trick ponies. They'll pull away quickly, but then it just dies away very quickly. This doesn't. It's got a real broad spread of power to its to the rev range of the car. Engine then feeds through into clutch and gearbox. Clutch in the car absolutely spot on, bite point exactly where it's meant to be, and it's a lovely and smooth in operation. Gearbox, 6-speed manual gearbox, typical Japanese gearbox, just really, really nicely done. Positive, slick, precise, very nice to use. All the gears engaged beautifully, exactly as they would have done when they were new. Just feels as though there's zero wear in it, which is typical of the breed, in fairness. Steering of the car, which has always been one of the strengths, the driving dynamics of the car has always been one of the strengths of the RAV4s, and this is no different. It's got lovely power steering, it's nicely weighted, makes the car feel very secure on the road. It's a very sort of confidence-inspiring car. Regardless of what sort of corners you're going through, the car just feels very settled, and the steering helps with that. It also feels incredibly tight, the whole car, so it's done hardly any miles. It's just a typical sort of Japanese build quality. They do these things really well. Steering, there's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to legal limit, and it tracks absolutely dead straight as well. Chassis of the vehicle, again, what they give you is a very, very accomplished ride on the car, very comfortable. Absorbs the bumps like those really well, but when you go through the corners, it maintains its composure wonderfully well, I have to say. It's it's certainly one of the best in its class in that respect. What I'm looking for in a road test, and this bump there is why I go over that particular point. At that point, I'm just listening out for any kind of mechanical noises, any sort of clonks or bangs that shouldn't be coming from underneath the car, and there's nothing at all, so it's solid in that respect. Brakes on the car, just going to give them a bit of a shove. Nice solid brake pedal on the car. What I'm looking for again is just basically when you hit the brakes, there shouldn't be any kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, and there are none, and it should be nice and powerful, which it most certainly is. So coming inside, beautifully put together cars, no squeaks or rattles, very nicely done in here, in lovely condition, really lovely condition, but a very, very nice car to sit in and drive with very good visibility all around. Quite a modern dash design, which sits really well in the vehicle actually, all working exactly as it should. So you can see there your sat nav functioning perfectly. You've got a dual zone climate control system, so that means you can have different temperatures side to side, and that pumps out lovely cold air. By the way, we checked out a nice warm workshop earlier on. And as is fairly typical with the Japanese, the quality of the switch gear in here is fantastic. Every button you press is very nicely manufactured and very satisfying to use as well. Dash binnacle in front is a joy because it's very simple. You've got a rev counter, speedo, temperature gauge in digital form, and fuel gauge, and that's it. But that's all you need. There's not this ton of information going on in front of you, which I hate in lots of modern cars. It's really distracting. This is a car just, it's got plenty of equipment, but it doesn't sort of bombard you with information, which I think is fantastic, and then very nicely displayed. Steering wheel, nice leather bound steering wheel, feels really nice in hand. All the sort of supports are nicely there. Fairly typical of the RAVs actually. The only thing that they do suffer with a tiny bit of leather wear at the top there, and but it doesn't distract. I mean, it will detract rather. It's in such nice condition. You've got to allow it something, but it's I'm trying to be massively critical, and that's the only thing I can really find, because you know, I can't fault the car at all. Drives absolutely beautifully. As always though, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate, do give us a call.